All right, it's a Friday, which means another GodfatherLocks.com audio report as we look back and look forward to what's going on at the website. And to start out with the positive, to start out on a high note, the NBA is in full effect, and we're clicking on all cylinders. If you look back at the stats, 54-35 run, 46-29 run, 17-9, 11-5, and 5-1 in my last 6 NBA contests, 7-3 in my last 10 5-star NBA picks, netting a $100 better $6,000 this young NBA season. And again, it's my bread and butter. It's keeping me above water. It's keeping the customers okay and happy with the bankroll. And now only if we can get the NFL rolling again, we'll be good. But speaking of the NFL, looking back at last week, Sunday was another up and down day, and it's been a rough go. And if I tell you that it has been anything other than a rough go, I would be lying. It has been tough, but does not mean that we cannot continue to plug. Obviously, it's a long season. There's still a couple more weeks left and the playoffs. So if we stick to the system, which I have done, that they will start falling down and we'll start getting some wins. Now, college football bowl season, obviously we're off this weekend. No college football tomorrow, which means more college basketball, which is good. Getting on the hardwood is always good for us and our customers. But next Saturday begins bowl season with 5 games. Next Saturday. So for next week's report, we'll look ahead to that. And now I'm already looking at the lines for the bowl season. There's some really good matchups, some games that we could definitely make money off of. And we'll do a nice bowl preview next Friday. We'll talk extensively of college football and go over some of the bowl games that stand out for that week from the 20th to the 26th. And again, to have some more reports going on. So that will be next Friday, the 19th. We'll preview the whole bowl season for the holidays and get that report rolling out. Now, for the NBA, going back to the NBA here. This week, again, been totally on fire, bouncing back after another tough weekend, and we've been rolling. Plus 60 units, like I said, on the season, and a game last night with the Thunder. A lot of you guys bought the pick. You're a weekly member or a 3-day member, and you see that line at 4.5. LeBron doesn't play. It jumps up to 7. I get a couple emails saying, should I still play it? Should I hammer it? Should I keep going with it? The pick is played at 4.5. So what I advise you guys to do is to lock in your plan and bet that through your site or through wherever you go through when the play is put up there, because the line changes. I mean, I can't handle or really know when the line is going to move, or if LeBron's going to be out, or if Durant doesn't play, whatever it may be, the pick may change or the line may change. So it's gonna affect the number you get. And luckily it didn't matter. The Thunder won 103-94 and we got the cover. And then the Kings last night went to overtime. Should have had that game lost, which was only my 3rd out of 10 losses in the 5 stars. But it doesn't take away from the momentum. We've been rolling. Wednesday, we were 4-0 in the NBA. We rolled with the Magic, the Pelicans. We had the Warriors late. We had the Hornets early. A lot of games rolling in. So the NBA is where it's at. And you can jump on right now. Looking at a couple games tonight. You got Blazers-Bulls, 7 o'clock on ESPN. The Blazers had a really interesting loss the other night in Minnesota on Wednesday, only scoring 82 points against Minnesota and losing their first game in a while. So that happened, and I don't know how Portland's going to respond tonight against Chicago, who put a beat down on Brooklyn. Clippers, Wizards. Chris Paul, John Wall tonight, 7 o'clock. That should be interesting. I'm looking at a 2.5 line there with the Clippers on the road. They went into Indy and got a 7-point win, which was a push, I believe, or a half a point cover if you had the Clippers on Wednesday. Clippers has been one of the teams I follow extensively, and so have the Wizards. I had the Magic against them on Wednesday, and Bradley Beal went ahead and put that tip in and got themselves a win, but we got the cover, which is all that matters. Another good game tonight, Cleveland, New Orleans. Is LeBron playing? How did the Pelicans look? The Pelicans need a win. They're back home, which they have a lot of success at home. They're coming off that loss to the Dallas Mavericks, and I believe they are 2-3 in their last 5, but they've covered 3 straight. So against the spread, they're on a little bit of a run. And I believe 5-2 in their last 7, if I'm correct, on the Pelicans. So that should be an interesting game. And then tonight, Kobe goes for the record over MJ, and they're a 12.5 point dog at San Antonio. Phoenix, 9.5 point favorite against Detroit. Detroit hasn't won a game in their last 13 tries. So Phoenix, 9.5. They've been actually a team that's been up and down too. That, they're 12-11, I think, and we had the Heat against them the other night, and the Heat were a 4.5 dog. They went in there and won the game by 6. They won outright. So the Suns have lost 3 in a row. Look for tonight for them to get back on track, because they take a trip to Oklahoma City on Sunday. So it's the NBA Friday. It's a perfect night to jump on board because the NBA is in full effect on Fridays, and we've been rolling hot in the NBA. And I rolled out a special yesterday, which was actually the first time that I've ever done this. It was a $75 3-day plan. That if you invested yesterday, which would have meant Thursday, Friday into Saturday, if you would lose units, we would give you a week. So you buy for 3, you lose, you get a weekly. That's how confident we are right now that the ship has turned and we're back focusing on making money, that you could do that again tonight. So I will leave that special up through Friday night. A $75 3-day plan. If we don't win Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, NFL Sunday coming up, we will give you the next week, Monday through Sunday, free. Okay? So that would be Monday through the 21st of next week, free if you don't make money on this 3-day plan. I mean, it can't get any better than that. Invest 75. If we make money, you're going to come back because we're making money. If we lose, I'm going to give you a week to tell you we're going to get that money back. That's how confident I am right now. So jump on board with that. Now, college basketball tomorrow. Like I said, there's no college football tomorrow, so we're going to have to focus in on college basketball, which gives us more time on the hardwood, which is really good. And, of course, NBA tomorrow. NBA is every day, which is really good for us because we're rolling in it. But look at college basketball tomorrow. North Carolina, Kentucky. Kentucky struggled with Columbia Wednesday night. They were a big favorite, I think 26-point favorite. They only won by 10 or so. So Kentucky's going to be a big play tomorrow. I don't know what the line is. Obviously, there's no lines out. So Kentucky, North Carolina could be a big play. Could have a lean on Kentucky. A lot of basketball all day. You got St. Mary's, Creighton. That should be an interesting game. St. Bonaventure, who is 6-1. They play a Pitt team that's been struggling. Utah and Kansas. Both are 7-1, both riding a 6-game winning streak. So we got that going on. We got Xavier, Missouri, should always be an interesting matchup. And then Michigan, who lost to 2 schools that I don't even want to mention on this podcast, playing at Arizona. And Arizona has been a good team, 9 wins, but they're only 3-4 against the spread. We've had them a couple times and lost in them a couple times. Oklahoma State goes to Memphis. Memphis is a 500 team. Oklahoma State is picking up where they left off. They were a good team last year, even with Marcus Smart not being there. They're 7-1. Oregon, Illinois should be interesting. So a bunch of games. I mean, there's games all across the board. Florida State and Notre Dame. Notre Dame's a really good home team. I think they're 8-1 at home. So that should be an interesting matchup. So you want to buy a daily plan tomorrow because it's basketball. And basketball is our strength right now at least. And the NBA has always been my bread and butter. So if you want to get on board and do that, a lot of basketball this weekend. Now for Sunday, let's get right into the NFL. Couple games stand out to me, including this Battle of Ohio, Cleveland and Cincinnati. Obviously, Cincinnati in revenge in that matchup, and Johnny Manziel gets the start, so a lot of eyes will be on him. We should have a play on that game. Also, Houston and Indy. Indy's looking at a 7-point favorite against a Houston team that just came off of a win in Jacksonville. That one should be interesting. Now, a game that stands out to me, and speaking of revenge, Oakland and Kansas City. Now, Oakland last week beat the 49ers as a big 8.5-point dog, I believe 9-point dog by kick, and they came out and won the game outright. Now, if you remember, a few weeks ago, Kansas City lost to Oakland, and Oakland got their first win against Kansas City, and Kansas City's lost 3 in a row. So as a 10-point favorite, Kansas City seems like a play. Another game that stands out to me is Miami, New England. Miami's a 7.5-point dog. That's a big number. Okay, a lot of people are going to bet New England. I know New England's been a force. They just had a nice win against San Diego last week. Miami is a better team than be getting 7.5. I know they lost to Baltimore by 15 last week, but that's a lot of points, especially for a division game where Miami gives them a problem. So Miami could be a play on Sunday. And then obviously Dallas and Philadelphia, Sunday Night Football. You got the Eagles and 3.5-point favorite, another revenge game. As we get late in the season, you're going to see a lot of rematches in the division. That's going to be a tough game. This game could go either way. 3.5 points. I have a strong opinion on that game. And a lot of other games. I mean, Denver, San Diego should be interesting. Green Bay going to Buffalo. Some spots, that's an interesting line because some spots have that game at 4.5. Other spots have it at 6. So keeping locked on that. We're going to have a strong weekend this weekend. The NBA continues in full strength. Again, 54-35, 46-29, 17-9, 11-5, and 5-1 runs in the NBA, including 7-3 and 5 stars. So we'll be rolling hot in the NBA. It's where it's at. $100 better has made $6,000. So I advise you today to check out the 3-day plan. $75. If we don't win, you get a week free. Godfatherlocks.com. Good luck.